What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Cash's Collectibles. I had to bring it back, okay? I know it's been a while. I have, as you know, I've been doing other things, and, I do want to make YouTube videos again. So, we are starting off strong with a figure that I recently got for my own personal use, but it's just too cool. I had to set up again, I had to, and we're gonna do it better this time. This is gonna trump all of my old reviews, okay? And we're just gonna bite the bullet here, and we're gonna fully review the Heat Ray Godzilla from the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. This is the box. I actually haven't watched Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in 1991 because I am slowly making my way throughout every single one of the old Godzilla movies, and currently I am on Godzilla vs. Gigan, which is still in the Showa era, which is in like the 1970s. So I'm not here yet, but this figure looks absolutely amazing, and I definitely need to watch this movie as soon as possible. So first impressions after taking it out of the box, it is already posted up in the coolest way I ever could have imagined. So you have the beam right here, as well as an alternate pair of hands, which I do find interesting. There isn't much for accessories as far as, figures go, but for Godzilla, I feel like there's nothing more than a beam, you know what I mean? I don't know what else you could possibly want out of it. I'm gonna take this out real quick, and we're gonna set everything up. Okay, first things first, I wanted to get, and take a look at this beam, and get it out of the way. Wow, this is, the second I had it in my hand, I was just blown away. And we're gonna take a little bit of a close-up here. If I can focus you. Here we go. So here's the beam. This is molded plastic. It doesn't... Let me take a look. It doesn't look like paint to me. This looks like molded plastic that is just beautifully sculpted. There's a little point that I assume connects inside of Godzilla's mouth, which is great. I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to hold up if I wanted to, shoot it up. Is that slowly going to sag over time? Or, these are questions that only time will tell. But let's take a minute to just appreciate that mold. Wow. I think that looks absolutely great. I'm definitely going to be posing with this blast effect. 100%. I think that's definitely the coolest part about this entire figure. This is actually the reason why I got this specific figure. There is the exact same figure without the beam. So I wanted this one for sure. Here are the molded hands. And well, they are alternate molded hands. 4 fingers. The nails are painted a beautiful gold, I think. And yeah. The ones that he has on him that you'll see in a second are more open, like that. But these ones are just slightly closed. It's not much of a difference. I can't lie. And you'll see, because I'm going to bring out the big guy right now. He is so cool. This is the exact pose that he came out of the box with. I literally have not touched him at all. So there is this exact figure without the blue on his back, which, I mean, if you prefer the gray, it's an option. But I prefer the blue. And obviously this one comes with the blast effect, which I think if you're getting this figure, or if you're getting any Godzilla figure, I think you definitely need the blast effect. The atomic blast, I should say. But the first thing that comes to mind when I'm looking at this figure is that it just has amazing articulation. You can see up in the neck, it has not one, not two, but three joints. I'm assuming are joints. I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm going to play around with this in a second, and then I'll get back to you guys and tell you this is just out of box. This is what I'm talking about. And then there's like 20 joints that go up the tail. So I'm just excited to see how this goes. There's the knees, the elbows, the wrists seem like they have joints, and I assume the mouth does open. So I think that's, I feel like that's all you need. But yeah, I'm going to play around with this guy. And I'm going to get back to you in seeing exactly how I feel about this guy. But I can tell you right here, right now, that I already love this. I already think this is the coolest thing ever. So, okay, so I played around with him. I put him in a little bit of a pose. And I'm going to tell you about the articulation. I do think that it's worth noting that the tail, you kind of have to force it into place a little bit. It does have all of this articulation, as I said, but like it's a little stiff in some places, I won't lie. But I got into like a pretty cool like spirally pose, don't you think? So I think, yeah, you see, look at that. I can even make it go farther if I wanted to. But like, yeah, I think that's absolutely sick. Another thing is that if you look at the joint here on the wrist, this part removes, or this part's detachable, and this part. So I did actually switch out the hand sculpt on this left arm. As you can see, it's the more clenched kind of hand instead of the open one. And doing so, I pulled off this ball as well, and it sucked having to like remove it, and the nails are sharp, and I was just poking the hell out of my fingers. It sucked. The main thing that I do want to get into, I'll get into after I finish up the articulation, which, I mean, it's Godzilla. You know what like, there's not like a ton of stuff you could do with it, really. The knees, the thighs, like, they move, but not like a ton. But really, I don't think you need that much. I don't know I don't know if you really want to have your Godzilla doing like a flying sidekick. I don't think I could get him into a flying sidekick position. But he does have like just enough of movement. As you can see, he has a little bit of like, I can straighten his leg just by a hair. I can bend it. And the feet have a little bit of wiggle. You know, it's good, alright? It's good enough for me. You know, it's Godzilla, man. And he's gonna be standing like this the entire time. His arms have a little bit more movement. You can get him up about yay high. Put him down about that low. You can like make his arms go straighter or curl in a little bit. He's got full 360 wrist turn, and he has full 360 at the elbow. And you can see right there, he has a little bit of an ab crunch, which I'm happy about. I'm gonna have him. You can have him stand straighter up, I guess, if you're doing like an atomic breath thing. But I kind of like having the crunch there because it makes him look like more. You know what I mean? He does have the insane neck right here. You heard it here. This Godzilla has insane neck. And what you can do with that is you can kind of like open his mouth. Okay. You can kind of like open his mouth a little bit, which is fully articulated. And you can stick in the atomic breath piece, which I actually don't know how to put in. Because I feel like the piece is too big for the mouth. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to get it in there. I see that there's like a port. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. but there's a port in the mouth for this rectangle. And I'm going to have to figure that out off camera, because I have no idea how I'm supposed to put that in the mouth without, like, I don't want to break the jaw or anything. But before we do that, I do want to get just a little bit of close-ups on some of the more detailed parts of this figure before we get into, like, posing it a little bit, because I definitely want to try out the atomic breath. Starting off strong, we have this absolutely beautiful... Let me get the tail out of the way. Hold up. What? It's absolutely beautiful head sculpt. I wish I had slightly better lighting. Hold up. There we go. iPhone flashlight for the win. Look at that head sculpt. Oh my god. I love that design. It makes him... It's kind of more cat-like, I've heard people say. Like, Godzilla has a little bit more of a cat-like design in the Heisei films, which I definitely agree with. And I do think it's a lot cooler. Like, he's just, like, the eyes, the sculpting. I'm just in love with this design right here. Oh, yeah. I love that. I love that so much. And the other thing I wanted to go over were actually the back plates, whatever these are called. I do think that these are absolutely gorgeous. And one thing I wanted to try is I'm pretty sure these are translucent. So, yeah, you get like a little... That's so cool. Like... I do think that's really sick. So yeah, just a little bit of showcase. Just admire these back plates just a little bit. I'm pretty sure it has a little bit of blue tinting, like along this line as well, that I do just love. Man, I just think this is such a good blue. I hope the blue looks this good in the movie, because again, I haven't watched it yet, and I'm so excited to do it. But yeah, the blue just looks so cool. Yeah, definitely been focusing on the blue and the glamour shots that I'm going to be doing at the end of the video, so just be prepared for that. I am now going to be entering the posing segment of the video. I'm going to do 2 poses, and then I'm going to do one last pose with the atomic breath in the mouth, if I can figure out how to connect it. But yeah, I have a special surprise for this segment of the video too, so just watch out. So here is the first pose that I put him in, and these buildings are absolutely awesome. It kind of looks like he took a bite out of this one. I actually they're like these little model kits. I actually built these buildings earlier today, just so I could record the video with them. I think that this is super cool. As you can see, I have the tail like rounded around this one, and I will remove these 3 buildings in a second just so you can see the figure better. But yeah, you see his mouth's open, and he's just raging, man, in the middle of the street, which I do think is the coolest thing ever. I do have plans to kind of weather these buildings, and stick like cars and trees and stuff on the street, and I may put a Gundam in here just for fun, because I have a lot. So if you're curious to see if I ever do that, or when I do that, if you're curious to see how it looks, I will definitely be posting pictures of this stuff on my Instagram, which you can go check out, the link in my bio. I am going to be removing these buildings now, just so you can get a better look at Godzilla. I'm going to fix his foot there. Put it down. Isn't that cool? is the coolest thing ever, bro. I'm gonna turn him just so you can get that shot. That looks so sick. I'm actually in love with this. Let's see if I can like give you some different lighting here. You can see his eye is kind of gleaming right there. And I just love that. I just think that is so cool. Yeah. I'm absolutely in love with this figure. And for someone who doesn't really collect figures anymore, this is definitely gonna be something that I keep in my room, and I just would love to show off. So yeah, like this was just, you know, it kind of brings back my old love for action figures in a way. I'm gonna try to do like one more pose. I want him to be like ripping out a part of the building. If I can do it, we'll see. You know, we'll see how I execute it. But then we're gonna move on to the big one, and I hope I can make that one happen too. So here's the second pose. This is cool, right? Is this not the coolest thing ever? Am I geeking out like too much? I made the tail like go up and around those. Dude, tell me this isn't cool back here with the tail in the buildings. And I have him like roaring. Let's see if I can move this a little bit back. I have him like roaring into this building. Dude, I am geeking out so hard. Let's bring a little bit of light into the situation. If I put the light over here, that's pretty sick, you know? Like, ooh, that's cool. Dude, tell me this figure isn't just absolutely gorgeous. And with the city is like, that makes, in my opinion, that makes it just, it gives it so much more like scale. You know what I mean? As the figure, it's a small Godzilla. But you also get the small buildings in there, and it's like, damn, Godzilla's big. So I do think that this is just amazing, and I'm geeking out like way too hard. I'm geeking out way too hard. Yeah, this is just great. This is the coolest thing I've ever witnessed. So I'm gonna put him into the coolest pose I can possibly think of. I have no idea what I'm gonna do, but I will figure it out, and you guys are in for a treat, because we're gonna, yeah, so just wait. Oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. So, I wanted him to like shoot it up, you know? Like I wanted him to shoot it up. I kind of wish I was able to do that. I bet if you like really wanted to, you know, like you could play with angles and stuff, or like prop his legs up. You totally could. I think that's not what this video's about. I'm going like right out of box here. The thing, I was kind of right about the blast effect, and it kind of worries me. I don't know if I leave it there long enough, is that gonna wreck the mouth? Is that gonna wreck the neck joints? Is that gonna wreck? Is it slowly gonna sag over time? These are questions that I feel like deserve to be answered, especially if, you know, I'm gonna put him in this pose and I'm gonna leave him like that forever. You know what I mean? One thing is that as I said, I wanted to shoot it up. If I lift it, he does. He can go farther up, and that is way cooler. Like if I could, I'd pose it like this, you know? But the weight of the blast effect kind of brings his head down a little, which is fine. You know, it's totally expected. This is still the coolest thing ever, though. Let me get these buildings out of the way. This is so cool. I'm definitely going to leave him in this pose for now, and I'm going to do some glamour shots for the end of the video in this pose, because I do think it shows off the back, the tail, and the blast effect really nicely. So, you know, be ready for that. Yeah, so we're gonna get onto the glamour shots. I decided to do one more pose with the little surprise Gundam. Yeah, I have a lot of these guys back at my parents' house, so maybe once I visit them again, I will. Maybe I'll bring some back and I'll pose them with him. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is maybe the coolest figure, and obviously I've had this Gundam for a very, very long time, and this has just kind of been my guy for many, many years. So yeah, kind of the coolest thing ever. I almost want to pose him on my shelf with the Gundam. That might be the move, but I'm just gonna have to see how things end up. But yeah, uh, there it is. That is the final. That's it. That's the review. I love this figure. I highly suggest if you like Godzilla, yeah, if you love Godzilla, or if you just like the movie, I don't know. This is a great figure, even if you don't like Godzilla. If you want a big lizard, this is the figure to get. I just feel like there's so many things that you can like. I don't know, man. I feel like this has just opened up like a whole new batch of opportunity for me. Like I could get a Mecha Godzilla now. You know what I mean? I could get, it's just obviously I'm probably not going to. Like I don't have room in my apartment for a bunch of Godzilla figures, especially with how big this guy is, because he's Godzilla, he's big. But if I did, if I did have room, I would totally get like a whole set of kaijus, and maybe I'll still make it happen. I always find a way. So, that being said, I do love this figure. I think this is absolutely amazing. If you want to see more photos of him, I will 100% be taking like super cool photos. I'm hoping at least super cool photos of this guy and putting him on my Instagram, because that is definitely something that I want to start doing more. If you liked the video, please subscribe. I know I haven't been the most, let's say, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but I don't post that often. I do post a lot on Instagram because that's kind of been my main thing for the past couple years, but I do want to start making videos again. If you have ideas, if you have toys that you think I might like, I may or may not be purchasing some to do some more toy reviews. I will be playing more video games. I do have some videos lined up, but it is just, I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm super busy right now, so I apologize. But if you did like the video, please do subscribe, like the video, comment down below if, what's your favorite kaiju? What kaiju figures would you like me to review? But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry there hasn't been a toy review for like 4 years or something. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye. Oh my god. That's such a fail.